Hi, it's Cara here from Cara Grace Collective and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Organised Family. I'm so glad to have you joining here with me this week. Each week I drop a new video that lets you know about my life, gives you organisation tips and all things motherhood. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old and this is just a little insight into our journey. Last week I shared part 1 with you of camping with kids and camping organisational hacks. So if you haven't watched that one, go back, give that one a watch first and then jump back over to this video. So last week I was telling you all about how I actually pack and get on the road and all my tips there. This week I'm excited to share with you the actual setup, my tips for when you're camping, and then also a sneak peek into some of the beautiful locations that we were at and adventures we got up to while we were away, and then also some tips for pack down and your last day of camping. Now that you have seen what setup can look like, let me give you my top tips to make it successful. So the first one is communicate clearly. It's really important that you and your partner are talking, that you have really defined roles so each of you knows what you are doing, and just remember, the other person can't read your mind. So you really need to be using your words, and this will just help eliminate fights and frustrations. The second thing for successful setup for your tent is think about your kids. So for our kids, they have just been on the back end of a 5-hour drive. They're really excited. You know, we want to make sure they don't get in the way, that they don't run away, and that they are looked after. So as soon as we pulled up, I put out a big picnic rug under the shade. I got them water, I got them snacks. They were able to eat, stretch their legs, have a play. And then when they were sick of that and they were around us, we just tried to give them really simple jobs so they could be involved. Things like getting the pegs ready for us, and any other little things like that we could think of so they could be involved. My third tip is unpack properly straight away. Okay, it's so tempting to just run off to the pool and cool down and get into holiday mode. But when everything has a place, it just makes your whole week less stressful. It keeps your tent from getting out of control and chaos and makes it easy to find everything. And it's just going to make your overall experience so much better. So spend that time once you're set up, put everything in its place, open everything up, and then you'll be ready to enjoy your time.
This will be the last call. This will be the last call. 20 minutes, you're done being alone.
Okay, we are all set up and you can see we've added a gazebo here next to the tent. This acts as our little outdoor dining area, which is really great, gives us lots of space. If you grew up camping in the 90s, it's likely that you had a tent like this, but we love the old school canvas tents. There is so much room, they're so durable and great for hot and cool weather. So let's take a look inside. Our front room acts like a kitchen. We've set up a table in here. We've got all of our handy tubs underneath. We've got our camp fridge there and a camp pantry in the corner. We have lots of space in the middle, which is great, and we've left intentionally in case we get any wet weather, we can go in there. You can see we've got all of our bags lined up. We've got a dirty washing pile. We've got our toiletries tub in there. And then you can either zip these bits up or you can leave them unzipped, and we head down the back towards our beds. So we have a blow-up queen bed, which is great, and the kids have bunks, which gives us heaps of space. And then there is a divider that you can put in the middle to make 2 rooms, but we don't usually use it. So these were a new purchase for this trip and they have been great. They can also hang from the top of your tent and they are a combination of a light and a fan.
This will be the last call.
Week later and pack up day is here. We get things organized and just empty the tent. Then we can clean it out, sweep the floor, and again enlist the helpers of some little friends because responsibility is always great for them to learn. Now this hike here has been one of our biggest time and lifesavers ever. When we take the tent apart, we group light poles together, we tape them up with masking tape, and then we write on them which part of the tent it is for. So when we go to set up our tent again, all the sections are taped together, they're labeled, and it just makes setup so much easier. It's worth those extra couple of minutes. Now I've already shared a few hacks with you when it comes to packing up your tent, and it's very similar to when you're setting up. Make sure you're communicating clearly, you have defined roles, and that you're telling each other what you need and what you expect to just eliminate that tension and fights. Think about your kids, they are going to get frustrated at a certain point. So again, give them jobs and roles that they can do, that they can help you, so they feel important and they feel a part of it. If they're not interested in that, again, think about how can you set them up with some snacks and a little quiet activity while you do that. And lastly, when you're packing things down away, do it properly. Your future self will thank you. If you just chuck it all in, next time you go to do your trip, it's going to be so much more stressful. And this is always what I talk about when it comes to routines. Routines and organization is so important because it just brings calm to the chaos and it makes all the little steps easier. So a little bit of extra time here pays off for your next trip, I can promise you. And I shared some of those already in the video where I said we make sure we completely clean out the tent and we also tape those poles together. So then when we go to set up the next time, we do not have to waste time trying to match poles together. It's already done. And that added little part only puts on an extra 5 minutes or so, but it is so worth it. And this, as I said, is why I'm a lover of organization and routines. It's just those little things that help make real life just real easy. This is my last day tub where I put in our swimmers, our towels, a change of clothes, and everything we need for the day that's easily accessible in the car. So once we're packed up, we can go swimming and enjoy our last minutes. Thanks for joining me for another week here on the Organized Family. Make sure you click subscribe and like, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments below and I will get back to you. You can also follow me on Instagram. You'll see me there most days on my stories. But that's it for this week. I'm excited to have you join me again next week. And next week, I'm going to be sharing all about cooking with kids. My tips, how I get it through, and how you can make it work. So until then, I hope you have a great week and I'll see you next week. Bye.